Oh, oh God. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Gapesty here. This is the normal DPS guide for Garrosh Hellscream, and this guide should assist any DPS players with learning the basics of each phase of this fight and getting through it successfully. So let's get started. So for phase 1, as a DPS, your basic goal here is twofold, and it depends a little bit on your raid strategy. If you're using the strategy that we're using here, which means allowing one of the iron stars to spawn and hit the adds, then your basic goal will be to DPS all the add spawns down to about half health or so. Once they're at half health, you can just leave them alone because the iron star, handled by the tank, will finish them off. Other than that, you're focusing on Garrosh pretty much full time. The one exception is the Shaman add spawn, which will need to be interrupted by any players able to do so when it casts its chain heal ability. Other than that, get the adds to 50%, let the tank drag them into the Iron Star, and they will die off. Now, on the other hand, if your raid strategy does not use the Iron Stars, which is also quite popular not to do that, then instead you just have to kill the adds pretty much as they occur, just like you would any other fight. So these should be tanked on the boss's location, and you just kill them as soon as they appear, and then back on the boss, and repeat this process. Now, the only thing to watch for in terms of avoidable damage is Desecrate Weapon in this first phase. If you're a ranged player, you want to be at max range, kind of against a wall when Desecrate Weapon is about to be cast, so that if it targets you, you can just run back in toward the center and not have it hit anyone else in the room. Now, when Garrosh hits 10% in the first phase, the second phase will begin. And here you can see the Corrupted Realm part of the second phase. You'll get into a Corrupted Realm 3 times, and the basic goal here is that your entire raid should be split into 2 groups of 5 players. One group will always be assigned to go along the right side of the room, and one always to the left. So make sure you know which is which for you. Meanwhile, the basic goal is to run quickly along the corridor that you're in and kill all the Shaw adds along the way. The faster you do that, the better. So you want to really focus those down, move quickly, and burn them down. In addition, if you see a sparkling orb or circle on the ground, make sure you step in it, because this will give you a buff that reduces your damage by 50% for this phase. Now, once you have completed the trial and you've killed all the Shaw, you can attack Garrosh at the end of this period. So here we're going through again. And while you're attacking Garrosh, you simply have to dodge his Annihilate attack, which he uses over and over and over. So stay in melee range because it's a cone attack. So if it hits you, it will one-shot you, but it's easier to dodge it if you're closer to him, since it's a cone, of course. But other than that, use any personal cooldowns or raid-wide cooldowns you have to help your healers out once you're attacking Garrosh in that phase. Now for phase 2 within the throne room, you still have Desecrate Weapon to worry about. But in addition to that, you have a Charm ability, which is cast on 2 random raid members. So there you can see I was charmed briefly. When someone near you gets charmed, make sure you call out in Vent or Mumble that you're targeting them and use an interrupt ability to interrupt their Touch of Yasarj cast. If you interrupt this and DPS them down quickly, they will not charm another person. But if you don't do that, they'll charm more and more people, and things will just spiral out of control. So the basic goal, be close to the rest of the raid when charm is about to be cast, and if someone near you is charmed, call out and interrupt them with any interrupt ability you have. From there, the only other thing to worry about is Whirling Corruption for this phase. Usually the raid strategy will be to run far away when Whirling Corruption is about to be cast, and everyone will stack up about 30 yards out or so. Then you can just stay there, DPS the boss from that location. If you're melee DPS, you still have to run out, because if you're too close, you'll take tons of damage from the whirl. So unfortunately, that's your only option, and then once it's over, you can run back in. Now, once the boss reaches 25 or higher corruption or energy, his Whirling Corruption attack will also be an empowered version. Essentially what this means is you still run out with the raid to avoid being too close to the boss when he spins around, but now in addition to the shadow bolts that are spinning out, There's also going to be some spawns that'll come up from the ground. So when you see the purple rings on the ground, as you see on the screen there, make sure you don't stand in them. And the minions that pop out, you'll want to kill them pretty quickly. Now, depending on your capability, if you're a DPS with a taunt ability, you can taunt one of these minions, pull it off to the side of the room by itself, and kill it off quickly. If you do this without killing it near any other minion, it will not get buffed, and you can afford to get hit by it. It won't do that much damage to you. But if you don't have a taunt, then you just need to let the DPS or the tanks pick up the minions, and then you can DPS the minions that are on the tanks at the time. And the final thing is Phase 3. Once Garrosh reaches 10% from Phase 2, he will empower one last time, he'll gain full energy, and he kind of goes in his final form. So this is really the burn DPS phase. This is where you want to use Bloodlust a second time. You can use it in the very start of the fight, and then you should be able to use it again here. But blow all your DPS cooldowns. Usually the strategy will be to simply burn Garrosh before he kills you. This may even mean ignoring the minion spawns. The only thing you cannot do is ignore Desecrate or the Charm ability. You still have to deal with Charm players quickly, or they will just charm everyone in the raid, and you'll be overrun. So other than that, if your raid is ignoring minions, just let them stay on the tanks and burn the boss. And you should still run out for Whirling Corruption so that you're not too close to him. Use any personal survival cooldowns when that goes off. All that good stuff. And that's it. You should burn him down quickly, and then you'll be done. So that is the normal DPS guide for Garrosh Hellscream. As always, good luck, and thanks for watching.